Greetings, friends. This is Kara. Welcome to The Big Mess. I have a project to share with you today. I have been working on a little book for some of my favorite little people in the whole world. I have some nephews that go on adventures almost every Sunday, and they have very swell adventures. So I thought that maybe I should make them a spot to record and explore all of the things that they see and do on their adventures. Like I said earlier, it's a very small book. Many of you will know that I do things in very small ways, or maybe not. This is a field guide for those people who like to experience nature, and obviously the family likes to experience nature. So let's dig in. This book was made from 3 books that were from the 50s and 60s. Some of it was water stained, and so it does not have, so a lot of the pages have been cut and trimmed in order to remove the staining from the books. So this is what's referred to as a lap book. This is the first opening. On this side of the lap book, the first spine is about home adventures. This is a place for them to record and keep their home adventures. This side is a place for them to record all of the things, maybe some of the wildlife they see while they are out and about on their outside adventures. On this side, there is a field notes notebook, which actually is just a composition notebook that I made a faux leather cover for that can be removed, so that if they fill up this notebook, they can then take that off and replace it with a new notebook. It does come off the string of the binding, just like a traveler's notebook, so it can be removed completely, taken with somewhere, left out if the side gets much bigger. And then again, very easily replaced back using the string. And there we go. This side also has a spot for some specimen slides. I have made some specimen slides for examples. Several pages of those. These are tags to be used if they'd like to make their own sample or their own specimens, Several pages of those. Here's some larger spaces, larger windows for that, with some larger tags. And of course, anything else can go in these that they wish. This is an envelope here that we have a magnetic closure on, and it has instructions on how to use a field guide and how to use a piece that's on the back, which is a flower press, a specimen press. So we have those 2 instruction sheets that fit in here. So if we go back to the first spine, like I said, this is the home side, and of course they can write on either side, whatever experiences they have whenever they want. One of the books that, actually it was a set of 2 books that I used were called the Answer Book. There were 2 versions. I don't know if there were many others. They were the ones that the edges were damaged, and so I sliced off the damage. I needed to cut them down to fit anyway, so I sliced off the damage. But I've included many of the pages that made sense for their learning, for the area they're learning from, they're learning in. So I have put a family tree, different types of woods in. So each one of these is meant for each one of the family members. And they're just little journal spots so that notes can be taken on favorite animals or experiences they've had. So there's 6 of those in one of the card holding cutouts, card holding die cuts. This is a Google view of their home, obviously from Utah. On the first page here, we have another one of those die cuts. I have several throughout. They do live on a little farm, so I have made some journaling spots and tags so they can, again, take notes or remember things in their wanderings. Here's one of the specimen guides, specimen tags. There aren't a lot of those in here, mostly because this book became very fat. I did have to add a full inch to the spine in order to expand it. Throughout the lap book, we have some little puppies who are taking part in all the fun. So there's our first puppy. This is a section that, now these graphics, along with some of these, are cutouts from another children's book that was about farming. So that's what has comprised a good portion of this home section. So this flips out. I've included the rest of the pages from the book in case they want to use them as more places to put writing spaces on back, or they particularly like the graphics. And then this, keeping it closed, is just a fold out to be able to contain all of that. We have some more spots, another pocket, just some more of the graphics, pages from the answer book. This first pocket page is a little notebook that they can keep memories in, and it slides back in this little pocket. Here's another one of our little puppies. This page, another pocket, has multiple pockets here to accept notes or journaling spots, little cards, and a big spot here with a fun gilded page. More of the answer page books. This page is kind of meant to, but is definitely not limited to, being used to keep maybe bedtime stories. We've got some, one of the tags, another specimen slide, and a couple little spots for stories or memories that they can tuck in to go with a spot where they can tuck things into their blankie at night. The next page is another a continuation of this one. These tags. These spots are held in by this, another journaling spot, another couple of flip downs held down. Throughout there are some pages of legend that can be written on, or pictures can be placed on them, whatever use they would like. Here is a page for Halloween memories, a cute little envelope, and we have another little puppy with a pocket to keep that in, or any other pictures or anything they'd like to keep that in. On this page we have Thanksgiving represented, a list of things to be grateful for, another tag that can be opened for journaling spots. All of these fun little graphics are for, presumably for their food at their feast, but could be used for any memory they'd like to have in there. More book pages and ledger pages. Here's a flower page to represent their garden, where they may have planted. This is just little tuck spots where they may have planted their potatoes and tomatoes, carrots, radishes, those kinds of things. And each of these do have just a little bit of paper on the back so that they can have notes taken. Along with this side, that if they ever decide to put flowers in here, they can keep some seed packets in here so they know what they've planted each year. Fall is my very favorite season, and apples represent fall to me, so I have a pretty good size spread for my apples and kind of the fall, just with a little notebook for some memories. This one is a little bit fall-ish as well. It does have a specimen slide, but also has just a little notebook, a little spot for journaling about kind of going back to school. Book page. This is a little nod to the fact that 5 of them are boys and 1 of them is a girl, so Mom gets her own page. Pink was the closest I could get to girly compared to everything else. Here are some journaling tags. There's a little puppy peeking over. Journaling tags there. And a card, a slot for more notes and tags, and another specimen slide. And then, of course, where we're going to take most pictures, probably, is the Christmas season. So we've got Christmas pages, some tags, and of course these can be removed and other things put in here, or this can be added to, whatever they like to do. This flips up and looks a little bit like a Christmas tree. So there's our star on top. These are envelopes, so things can be tucked in. Here's our Christmas tree skirt and a puppy participating in the fun. We've already gone over these, so we're going to move over to the next section. Again, this is the out and about section, the out in the wilds section. I do have just some little graphics from the internet about the birds and mammals and butterflies from here in Utah. This middle section, we have 2 little puppies, Woodrow and Sage. They're puppies they have now that they take with them on their adventures. This section does have a little photograph album if they want to slip some photographs in here. And then I thought it would be fun if the boys would like to take notes in their mini composition book that's similar to the large composition book, but of course I've included a bunch of extras so they can be used for whatever they'd like. So in this section we have some more card slots with tags for writing, also spots that can be filled, a little puppy. This is this is a little bit to represent some land that we love up in the mountains. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Electric Lake. They may see deer while they're out and about, so I have some note cards on that. Some more journaling spaces. Some of the answer book pages again. I personally have never seen a bighorn myself here in Utah, but they are a Utah native, and I thought this was neat. The two rams ramming into each other. Here are some endangered species flora, and that's a journaling spot. It was fun because the printable that I got a lot of the graphics out of had this as a graphic, or this included, and I thought that was fun since it's from here in Utah. This is one of my favorite pages. Here's a daddy bear. I can journal on that. And here's 3 bears, but this is my favorite picture. It's a baby bear, but it's so cute. Baby up in the tree. This one is a page. Utah flower. Has a couple of journaling tags here. The journaling spot here. And another puppy. We have a squirrel. And a couple of journaling spots. A fawn. We have another one of our specimen slides and a couple of journaling cards. These are all pages of the answer book and some ledger paper. This mountain goat just made me happy. He had to be in the book. So we also have some journaling spots. Here's a picture of the mountains. I'm not sure where it's from, but I know it was here in Utah. A pocket here for things that can be kept. And then to get to this journaling spot, this twists around. And there we have a little puppy hidden. Another page. We have a kitty cat page. Of course, it's a cougar page, but you know, they're all just kitty cats. Another specimen, which I thought was particularly appropriate given that it's the Beehive State. A couple more journaling spots. When this one is slipped in, it holds this one shut, which is a journaling spot. Here's another one of our puppies. Some more bears. Another journaling spot and a fun little mama and baby sleeping in their den journaling spot. Here's some wolves with a pocket. Space to do journaling in. Now this is fun because every time the boys see water when they're out and about, they have to build a dam. So here are some little beavers building their dam. Along with this is a journaling spot. Here's a puppy. We have just some journaling space. And another card. We have a space for fishing. We have colors for each of the boys. We're not sure what color the baby will prefer, so he gets the yellow tan color with a fishing pole. And then here we all need a page in our journal about the fish that got away. That's this big. And then here I just loved this scenery piece of scrapbook paper, so I put the lines on some tissue paper on top of it so some journaling can be done there. I have included a few writing boards, so if they want to write while they're out and about and they need a hard surface, because so many of the pages are textured because of their pockets, I have included these writing boards. So there's the inside of the book, the lap book, which we fold over and we bring up here. Get that closed for the 4C Swell Adventures. Now, on the back, this was the catalyst for this whole book, basically. I have made a spot for pressing flowers and other specimens. Specimens? Okay. So this is an accordion fold where they can press flowers in here. These are the instructions for this are in the pocket in the book, and they can put them on this side as well. And then we close them up, and it keeps them tight, helps to keep them flat, and they can leave them in there for a little while and get those specimens dried out. And then I made a box that they can take some of the needed utensils, pencils, and a bunch of different things to help them take notes or draw. If they can draw, that's fabulous. I can't. But there's a bunch of stuff to help them take their field notes. What am I doing? Okay. This book has definitely gotten bigger than it was originally thought it was going to be, so things are a little tight. But as you can see, all sorts of fun for some of my very favorite people. Thank you for joining and watching, giving me your time. Be safe out there.